are the benefits of a flipped classroom?
Well, the benefits of the flipped classroom, I think, are the promotion of real learning, okay? I've talked a bit, and I can't really answer it without talking about some other issues. Is the model of memorization really the best model for learning? I'm going to start there because much of what we've done all the way through K-12 education, and even a lot of this in college, is hinged to memorizing sets of facts or ideas or things that the teacher has said. Well, that memorization is okay. You have to have some of it. But if memorization becomes your core goal, then you can become so excited, the teacher can become excited, or the student can become so committed that they lose sight of the larger vision, which is really a student learning outcome. Having a student that's fully capable of making decisions when there is no classroom, when they're out in life and trying to make judgments. That's the most critical learning outcome we can give. And that's not really promoted by memorization. Now, another dysfunction of memorization is that it tends to promote in classes an urgent need to get more points on the test, so then we study right before the test. Or we cram. That's the bad word that the teachers like to use, cramming. Well, they're right. Cramming is not very useful. The books, the new science of learning tells us that kind of thing is just not going to be helpful. Because all it's going to do is impact short-term learning. Short-term learning is the learning you have about what you did today, what you had to eat for breakfast, when you drove your car, where you went from here to there. That's all stuff that can wash away when the day is over. What you want to have is long-term learning, which is the very most basic ideas, the ideas that become embedded in the culture, or become embedded in the changing of the culture. That's a much more critical value. And that value doesn't really turn on memorization. It turns on deeply held, impact, emotionally based ideas. So how does all this get back to the flipped classroom? Well, the flipped classroom is an attempt to take what would be lectures in the classroom and put them on video outside of class. People can then watch the videos on their own time when they're ready to watch them. They also can watch them wherever they want to. They can use the video, they can see the video, they can hear the audio, they can sit most comfortably. If it's in their apartment or their dorm room, they can sit in their pajamas. Want to have a cup of coffee? Go ahead and have a cup of coffee. Sip the coffee. That will be a promotion. And if it smells good, even better. What we know from the new science of learning is the more times that we combine the different senses that we all have into one whole, the more likely it is that we will promote a long-term learning outcome. Okay. Now, one more plus to this, if in the course we're talking about, is the realization of how we as human beings are linked, not just across the 7 billion people on the globe, but on all of our predecessors, all of our great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. And we had them 100,000 years ago. If we didn't have 100,000 years ago, we weren't here, but we are here today. And if we were to look at that perspective, what I've just said about combining the senses together, think about your great-great-grandmother and great-great-grandfather 100,000 years ago. How likely is it that they fed themselves by using all 5 of their senses? Very great. They were looking for an animal. They might have listened for the animal. They might have smelled the animal. All these different things combined together. And that's about hunting an animal. But what about finding a vegetable or a plant that you could eat? Same things operate. If we link ourselves as human beings across the 7 billion and back in time, we get a very powerful notion of what it is that we most need in order to survive. So I see this flipped classroom, putting the video outside of class, and then using the class time in a way, and what we're doing right now, having a conversation about what is it that's important. That's the kind of thing that is going to form the most basic ideas that will be most helpful in the future. That's why I think a flipped classroom is so really terribly important. The old model, the memorization model, says, well, our job is to come there, listen to that professor, and spit back what he says. Well, okay, some of it's useful, but there's a great likelihood if you're just memorizing what he said, he's giving you a truth that's a truth at best, only at the moment he's giving it to you. Because a little bit later, there'll be an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 17, or no iPhone at all. We'll be doing it with mental, whatever. I don't know what we're going to do. But it is an approach towards life that asks us to interact with other people. And that, I think, is more likely to be promoted by the split classroom idea.